Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning in. This video is going to be all about the lips, but I just want to take a pause and talk really quick about the eyes because I'm feeling them so much right now. Today I got the Pat McGrath, I think it's called the Mothership Sublime Bronze palette in the mail. You might remember if you follow me on Instagram, a few days back I posted about it because it finally launched, and I just knew I needed to have it because of the color palette, the sparkly shimmer. It was calling my name, and so with your love and support, I bought it. I'm not regretting it, and I'm kind of obsessed with this is the first look I've done, but I'm kind of obsessed with it. So I just had to get that out of the way because it was one of those things where as I was getting ready to film this video, I was like in the video filming mindset, like, what am I gonna say? But as I started playing with this palette, has this ever happened to you where you play with the palette and the more you use it, the more excited you get? So I'm like at a 10 right now, pretty much because of the eyes. So couldn't help but mention it, but let's get on to the lips. So, fall lips. The season is upon us and I've already been jumping into like the deeper, darker taupes and mauves and shades like that for fall. So I wanted to do a roundup of the fall lip colors that I have really been feeling, and I was torn between doing kind of like a talking head where I just show you the product in like a close-up or whatever, and one of my swatch videos. I really love doing those swatch videos where it's just music and just me. Basically, it's like lipstick porn, but that really doesn't allow me to tell you like why I like these shades. So it's gonna be a little bit of a both kind of video where I'm gonna talk you through all of these products, but playing over the top will be those slow-mos of the swiping and the lips and how they look with the rest of the look on my face. So you're getting a little bit of both in this video. Let me know what you think about it. Give the video a like if this is your thing, or just let me know in the comments below if it is, if not, which you prefer. Let's go ahead and dive in. First, I'll start with gloss. This is actually the one and only gloss I have in here. I tend to go heavier overall, not just in color, but in texture of my lip products in fall and winter. So it's kind of rare that I have a fall lip gloss, but one did sneak its way in here just because it has the typical fall color that I look for, but just in a little bit more of a sheer medium, sheer and sparkly medium. And glosses are just a little bit easier to apply. So when it comes to reapplication throughout the day, this is a product that I'll reach for when I want something a little bit more low maintenance. So let's get to what it is. It's one of the Becca and Chrissy Teigen Glow Glosses. They came out with 3 towards the end of the summer. And I do like the other 2 shades. They're more of a milky texture, a little bit more opaque. Maybe milky is not the right word, but more of an opaque cream gloss. Whereas this is a pigmented, but still sheer gloss, if that makes sense. This is the shade Beach Nectar, and it not only has that medium brown undertone, but it also has a hint of mauve. And then get this, it has like violet and blue shimmers in it, which really don't come off as strongly blue and violet on the lips, but they're there and they add just a little bit of interest and dimension to the lip color. So this will pretty much be my purse lip gloss for fall. Next up are 2 lip crayons that have been getting a lot of love from me recently. They are from the Nude Sticks and Melissa Alatorre set that Soft and Smoky set that she recently collaborated with them on. The 2 lip pencils in here are just fall go-tos for me. The first of which falls on the lighter end. For me, it means it's a little bit more wearable during the day, but it still has that subtle hint of smoky or dusty mauve to it, and it's a little bit deeper than I might otherwise wear in the summer. It is the shade Purity, and what I love about this and both of these pencils is that they are dual use. You can use them on both your lips and your cheeks. So in case you want to get a little bit more matchy-matchy and do the dusty mauve on both your lips and your cheeks, you can totally do that with these. So that's the first shade, and then the other shade that I love is Raven. This again comes in that set and also again can be used on both your lips and cheeks. But unlike Purity, Raven is this beautiful deep berry port wine purplish shade. It's just so gorgeous, and I think universally flattering. It's got like a strong blue base to it, so it's going to make your teeth look nice and white, and it's just gorgeous. That's all I really have to say about it. That's kind of that. Next up are lipsticks from a brand that is actually relatively new to me, and I'm wearing one of the shades on my lips today in this video. They were introduced to me by a friend of mine who, when I made my first lip swatch video, she suggested that I create one on this brand as well. And so when I started looking into them, browsing their site, getting to know their products, I kind of fell in love. Their story, their purpose is about creating nudes for a wide variety of skin tones, and specifically medium and deep. So I picked up their appropriately named, especially for this video, fall collection collection. Let's start first with the shade that I'm wearing here, which is Nude La La. This is also the shade that I featured in my Emily Noel The Wants palette. This for me is such a gorgeous shade because it takes my skin tone, specifically my skin undertones, and just like punches it up a little bit to give it that much more pigment. And I'm trying to push outside of my comfort zone. The rule that I have followed in the past is typically like if I'm doing a dramatic eye, I have to go neutral, nude, light, downplayed lip. But I've seen so many people pull it off so well, and I found for me, this is a very comfortable way for me to do that because it is so similar to the natural color of my lips, but just a hint deeper and more dramatic. Which is why here I have today paired it with something a little bit more dramatic and smoky, and I don't feel that it overwhelms the look at all. It's just such a great amped up but still natural fall lip color for me. The next shade I have is Dope Taupe, which is slightly deeper than Nude La La and has a little bit, contrary to the name taupe, I normally associate taupe having a much cooler or maybe even a grayer undertone, but this is kind of the opposite, especially when I compare it to the next shade here. Dope Taupe is almost warmer or more yellow leaning for the taupe spectrum, because the next shade I have then, Mented number 5, is again slightly deeper than Dope Taupe and even cooler than Dope Taupe by comparison, and has a slightly mauvey undertone. Because I haven't talked about this brand on the channel yet, I do just want to briefly mention like a quick product review, and I mean obviously I wouldn't include them in here if I didn't like the formula, but in case you're curious about how this formula compares with any others that I'll be talking about here today, it's kind of a thinner lipstick formula. I really like how lightweight it is, especially compared to some of the other products I'll be talking about. It's very lightweight, yet still obviously very pigmented, and it's surprisingly long lasting. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a liquid lip stain or lipstick. It's not totally transfer proof, but light drinking and snacking, this will totally last me through that. It's not unless I have something like a salad or something that has like an oily base to it that I'll find real wear and tear with this stuff. So it's just a really comfortable lightweight formula to still give you that kind of pigmentation. Now moving on to a berry pick and just overall a slightly lighter lipstick formula. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in the shade Blushing Berry. So it's berry, but taken up a notch to like that fall deep berry shade, but the formula itself is somewhere in between like the full coverage L'Oreal lipstick and the Color Riche Balm or Color Riche Shine lipsticks that I did a swatch video of. It's like smack dab in between there, so you get a balmy sheen, but it is more pigmented, it's more nourishing. I mean, when fall weather hits, my lips become a flaky mess, so if you're looking for a lipstick that gives you a little bit more moisture as well as the pigment, this would be a good pick for you. And Blushing Berry, any kind of berry, deep smoky berry, is just a must-have for my fall lip rotation. The next lipstick I want to talk about is from Maybelline. It is in the shade Copper Spark. It's a metallic finish, and metallic is not a go-to finish for me, but I'm really feeling like kind of getting out of my comfort zone, kind of forcing myself to incorporate it and wear it to see where it takes my looks. And especially with fall, where in general I do just get a little bit more dramatic with my makeup, I feel like this is a good time to incorporate it, especially when I think of metallics, I think of actual metals, and there's no better metal than copper, right? So here's a drugstore traditional lipstick option. I will have another option in a liquid lip format coming soon, but in case just a traditional bullet lipstick is what you're after, this is the shade that I picked. And what I like about it is it's not frosty metallic. I mean, there is a hint of frost in there, but it also gets this sheen from something that isn't your classic like 80s frosted lip finish. So it's something a little bit more sophisticated about it, and that's why I really like both this and the other shade that I'll talk about later. Oh, and the other thing I like about this shade is as far as coppers go, it's not too warm. So frequently I can find on my skin tone that a true copper, it makes me look sickly because it has those strong red undertones, and there's something about what they've done with this shade that just gets it a little bit more on the neutral side, so that anyone who, you know, is neutral or even cooler skin tone can wear a copper like this. Next are some picks from Wet n Wild, which I wanted to include not just for the colors are gorgeous, but also from a more budget-friendly perspective. If you're wanting to change up your fall makeup routine and you don't have any colors that you would really consider special or particular to fall, I find that this lipstick line from Wet n Wild is a really good one to go to from a quality and a pigmentation perspective, but you're not going gonna break the bank if you know it's not something you're gonna wear all the time or even into the next year, the next fall. The two shades that I have from Wet n Wild are Mocha-licious. This is a deep, kind of a mauve-y leaning brown with a cream demi-matte finish. And then the other one is Cinnamon Spice, which, I mean, if there were ever a name that just screamed fall, this would be it. But then also the color is, as you might expect, this deep berry crimson, not as quite as dark as Raven. So if you're looking for something that's along those lines, but just a little bit toned down, this might be a good one for you, but you still get that nice deep red. Now moving on to the liquid lipstick formulas, I don't think I could have done a fall lip video without talking about at least one shade from this collection. It's the L'Oreal Le Chocolat Infallible Pro Matte liquid lipsticks. I did a whole swatch video of these if you want to go check it out and see what other shades are in the collection, but the one that I picked specifically is Bittersweet. And I realized the shade might not be for everyone, if not a lot of people, because it's a grayish. A lot of people feel like that will wash them out, make them look sick or dead, or just generally unflattering. But again, fall is the time when I tend to try these sorts of shades or finishes like the metallic, and so this is a good way to try it without breaking the bank, and it's with a good formula. I mean, they do smell obviously very strongly of chocolate, so if that's not your thing, you might want to skip these, but in terms of lasting power, I love the way these dry down, and then they are totally transfer proof, but they're still comfortable and like non-drying throughout the day. It's a good formula to pick up, and it's a good shade to pick up if you're looking to try something new for fall. Now moving on to the last two liquid lipsticks, in fact the last two lipsticks to talk about in this video overall, they are both from the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick collection, and the one I want to talk about first, it is the shade Out Loud. This has been a go-to for me for at least the last 2 years. I mean, really ever since they launched these and I tried this shade, it continues to come back for me every fall, because for me on my skin tone, this is the perfect terracotta reddy brown shade that it's just red enough to where it stands out and looks striking, but not in a way that makes me look ill like some copper tones like this can. It's just so gorgeous. And then speaking of copper, they do have a metallic finish within this collection, and so again, similar to the shade from Maybelline, if you want this but just in a liquid lip format, what I would go with is this one from Smashbox in the shade Rust Fund, which is so appropriately named, but it's just a good liquid lip alternative if you want something that's going to dry down totally transfer proof and budge proof throughout the day. And that's it for me, guys. Those are all of my fall lip picks. I would love to hear what shades you are pulling into your fall lip rotation down in the comments below. I really hope you enjoyed this style of video, this kind of hybrid, chatty yet swatch heavy video. Let me know if you like that too in the comments. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.